Good morning. I hope everybody is well and staying safe. We are delighted to welcome you to this launch of the Tech East 100. And we're here, myself, Lisa Perkins, Director of Research Realisation and Industrial Park for BT, and Tim Robinson, CAO for Tech East, to welcome you and to announce the exciting 100 companies that have been chosen as part of this Tech East programme. We wish that we were all here today, but for obvious reasons, we have taken the decision to do this exciting hybrid event where some of us are together, but the majority are obviously virtual. Tim.
Thank you, Lisa. And yeah, it's great to be out of the back bedroom. But morning to you all. Yeah, welcome. The Tech East 100 is our newest programme. And it is an exciting recognition of the most exciting, ambitious, diverse tech businesses in Norfolk and Suffolk. And it goes to the very heart of what Tech East is all about. Because our purpose is to accelerate the growth and amplify the success of the digital economy in the East of England. Now, this programme would not have been possible without the generous support of our sponsors and our supporters. Our sponsors will all have an opportunity to talk to you throughout the morning, but they are Ashton's Legal, Scruton Bland, Brewin Dolphin, If Recruitment, and Sanderson's. But also our very grateful thanks to our supporters. They are Norfolk County Council, Suffolk County Council, New Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership, Suffolk Chamber of Commerce, Norfolk Chamber of Commerce, BT, and UEA. Now, please do share, if you're enjoying the event this morning, on social media. The hashtag is TechEast100.
Thank you, Tim. And yes, thank you very much to all of those sponsors and supporters. We, as Tech East and as chair of Tech East, have a very exciting ambition in terms of the impact that we can make for the region, but we really can't do it without that support. So what have we got planned for this morning? Well, interestingly, it's a game of three halves, however that works. So first off, we've got some really exciting keynote speakers that will join us virtually. Then we are going to have the big reveal, which is going to be incredibly exciting. And then to finish off, we've got some fantastic panelists who are going to join us. They're going to be hosted by Tim, and we're going to have some really great conversation. So, without further ado, I think it's time to hear from our first keynote speaker. And I'm incredibly excited to say that this person is a huge advocate for our region, is a secret closet techie, I feel, but is also an actor, a broadcaster, and a writer. So, without further ado, let us hear from Stephen Fry.
Hello, my name is Stephen Fry. What a pleasure it is to be here with you, beaming onto your screens in ways that were unimaginable when back in 1981 I first tapped on a keyboard and saw a fuzzy green letter appear on a screen. Throughout the 1980s, I can well remember flinging myself up and down East Anglia in frantic search of a metre of Centronic's parallel printer cable or a rubber modem grommet. The wild geek was an unusual sight in the counties back then. To catch sight of one in its natural Norfolk or Suffolk habitat was as rare as spotting a bittern or a pair of red kites. East Anglia is now home to more varied and gifted geeks than ever before, and upcoming nesting and conservation programmes promise to turn the area into the most thriving and exciting tech hub in the land, Geek Anglia. I'm going to drop the bird metaphor now. I'm actually here to help celebrate the 100 fascinating, exciting tech businesses of the Tech East 100. Now, we all know that vibrant ecosystems of people and organisations are tremendously important, the bedrock of all kinds of successful startups, some of whom go on to be world beaters. As that Suffolk-born boy Brian Eno said, to make things happen, you need genius, that communal genius greater than one mind, but gathered in one place. We have it here, but we also all sadly know that this year, many of the things we would have called normal have been broken down. There are, however, glimpses of a very different kind of world for business. A better one, perhaps, if we make it so. Certainly one where AI, machine learning, big data, the Internet of Things and quantum computing will play ever-increasing roles, and where there is no reason why the UK and the East of England cannot be champions. In that world, it seems to me that it will matter less where you go to work, or do you have a London postcode or Bay Area zip code? And it'll be more a question of what you want to do and who can you get to help you to do it. I know that Norfolk and Suffolk has one of the most open, collaborative and supportive of all the tech ecosystems. We're not a backwater in a negative sense, but we are a secret garden. The great thing is that the door to that garden is open. It has no lock. The world is welcome to join us. So I introduce you to the 100 businesses of the Tech East 100, the geeks who are changing the world, and for the better, and doing so from the joyful, supportive place, the tech cluster that is Norfolk and Suffolk. Thank you and have a great time.
What a fantastic accolade from Stephen Fry. I now feel very privileged to be in this conservation for a secret garden of geeks. That's a
Geek
very...
Anglia.
Geek Anglia. Fantastic. Who have we got next, Tim?
Well, I'm very, very pleased to say that this morning we're able to have with us, joining by video message, the Minister of State for Digital and Culture, Caroline Dinenage MP. The tech sector, the tech economy is kind of vitally important to Britain's current position within the global tech economy, but also in terms of thinking about how we start as a nation to rebuild and regrow after this very difficult time. So it's very nice that we're able to have some words now from Caroline Dinenage.
Hello everyone, I'd like to start by thanking you all for inviting me to join you at the Tech East 100 event, and more importantly congratulating you all for being selected to be part of the Tech East 100. You are the most exciting and ambitious tech companies in the East of England, and that is something to be very proud of. I'd also like to thank Tech East for playing such a significant role in not only helping to grow the digital sector across the East of England, but also contributing to the entire tech sector of the United Kingdom. A supportive, open, collaborative tech ecosystem is absolutely vital to foster new startups and scale-ups and attract the best talent. You have this here. I'm particularly optimistic about the role that Tech East has played in developing, inspiring and educating the region as we look to the future. The Tech East 100 is a really important new programme by Tech East, whose role in the UK Tech Cluster Group is really valued by us at DCMS in providing deep knowledge of the local and regional ecosystem. The East of England is actually one of the fastest growing regions in the UK, with almost £800 million of total venture capital investment in 2019 and almost £1 billion invested in emerging tech since 2015. Many of you are the reason for this great achievement, and so I thank you for what you're contributing to the economy and the digital sector, whether that's through pioneering new technologies, creating jobs and helping improve digital skills, or via your ongoing innovation for new products and services that are helping to make the UK and the world a better place. You are enabling the digitisation of so many other industries, markets and sectors, from healthcare and manufacturing through energy and agri-food to retail and tourism. You are a key component in making the UK Europe's top scaling tech nation and the 5th largest digital services exporter in the world. As we've all seen, lockdown and the coronavirus crisis in general has transformed the role that technology plays in our everyday lives. The digital economy allowed us to deploy digital tech in all sorts of ways during the pandemic, to unlock innovation in healthcare, to educate our children from home, and to stay in touch with our much-loved family and friends. COVID-19 has demonstrated that businesses are now increasingly willing to embrace digital tech solutions, and of course this creates even more opportunities for the sector. I look forward to seeing all your organisations grow, develop and thrive as we recover from this unprecedented pandemic. And I'm certain that with the support of the government and organisations like Tech East, the UK can continue to cement its standing as one of the largest tech economies in the world. Once again, a massive congratulations on being recognised as one of the top 100 tech firms in the East. Organisations like yours make me incredibly proud to be part of this ever-growing sector.
Well, thank you very much, Caroline, for your hugely supportive words and glowing endorsement of this region. As Caroline said, the East of England has been performing increasingly well on a national level over the last few years and continues to do so. But it's really important, I think, maybe just to reflect on something that Caroline said, which was around the role of digital companies in helping the whole of the economy grow, so not just themselves and not just that sector. And one of the things we care passionately about at Tech East is building bridges and connecting innovation between companies and sectors across the whole market. So I think our message to everybody out there who's perhaps not directly in the digital sector is that we are here to help, and the Tech East 100 companies are absolutely here to support you in your digitisation and transformation and innovation efforts over the coming months and years. Lisa.
Thank you, Tim. I mean, yes, just to kind of build on that, I think absolutely critical to this region is having the support and the recognition of government in terms of what a thriving environment and community we do have here in the East of Anglia. And I think it's testament to all of you and everybody in this region that we've been able to establish such a strong impression with government. So I think that's another reason to celebrate today. So without further ado, I am now going to introduce somebody who I am very familiar with. He is Professor Tim Whitley, who is Managing Director of Applied Research for BT, but also Managing Director for Adastral Park, which the savvy of you will have spotted makes him my boss. He is hugely supportive and a massive advocate of what we do here in the East and how BT can support and nurture the opportunities that we have for the region. So let's hear from Tim.
Well, hello everybody. Great to have an opportunity to speak to you today. My name's Tim Whitley. I'm MD of Applied Research for BT and MD of Adastral Park. BT's hugely proud to be here in the East of England at our research campus at Adastral Park in Suffolk. And of course we've been here for over 40 years now with our labs, and around our labs have grown operations centres, development centres, and really pleasingly over the last decade or so a thriving innovation cluster of over 140 businesses. So over 4,000 individuals working in Suffolk, individuals who all know the big secret, that Suffolk and Norfolk is a really exciting place to work and a really great place to start and to grow a tech business. So it's a particular pleasure to be part of Tech East and helping celebrate the Tech East 100 of exciting tech companies here in Norfolk and Suffolk. Like you, we all recognise that this region is often viewed as a hidden gem, but in reality is already at the heart of innovation within the UK. There are so many things here that actually not only have regional significance, but actually national and indeed global significance. Whether we're talking about the renewable industry and the offshore wind that is thriving off the coast of Norfolk and Suffolk, or indeed, of course, Adastral Park itself, which is a strategic national asset and has been pioneering communications technology for well over 40 years. This is a great place to build a tech business and grow a tech business. Adastral Park itself is a high potential opportunity area for digital, for cyber, for quantum technologies. And it's really great to see so many new businesses choosing this part of the world as the place not only to build a great business, but also to live and work. We all know, don't we, that Suffolk and Norfolk are a fabulous part of the country and a fabulous place these days to build technology businesses and drive both social and economic value for this region and for the rest of the nation. So hugely excited to be part of this event. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to meeting many of you, perhaps in a not so virtual version in the near future. Have a great time, and congratulations on being part of the Tech 100. Thanks then, bye-bye.
So there you have it. Glowing endorsement by three huge advocates, and who wouldn't be when you look at the significant, diverse and impactful companies that comprise our community here in the East. So without dwelling on that any further, I think, Tim, we've got some more people to thank before we get into the big reveal.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. So we recognise that there are a number of recognition programs and awards and really, really good initiatives going on in the east of England and have been for some years. But we wanted to make Tech East 100 a little bit different. And so we took a view right at the outset that we would draw on all of that expertise that we've got locally to help narrow down from a much, much longer list, over 200 companies, to this 100 companies that we see as having, fantastic success stories already, or great deal of potential to go on and be world-class in the future. I worked with a group of 19 expert judges to pull together the 100 shortlist, or the 100 list. These people gave up their time for free. They gave us their insight. They gave us their expertise and judgment around kind of what should make the grade. So we're really confident that the 100 list, which actually we came up with some months ago, obviously we had intended to celebrate with you a little earlier in the year. But we're really confident that that 100 list is a really strong reflection of really the kind of creme de la creme in the region. And so for our judges, I'd just like to thank them all. I'd like to thank Ruth Cheesley, Lynn Clabban, Madeline Coop, Michael Cousins, Nikki Daniels, Taya Goodluck, Kelly Hathi-Ramani, Alison Huxley, Mike Kingston, Professor Fiona Lettis, Chris Marsh, Dr. Morgan Potter, Anthony Pryke, Jeff Rich, Chris Sargison, Hannah Smith, Will Tate, James Tarling, and finally James Tucker. That group of experts represented investors, entrepreneurs, kind of ecosystem support people, accelerators, and professional services company, plus organizations like TechNation. So we really felt that together, the collective wisdom would help come up with a list of 100 companies that we can all be really, really proud of.
Indeed. I mean, it is a great thanks from all of us at Tech East for that support. And we look forward in years to come for more of that, obviously, as we grow and as our community becomes even bigger and the job becomes even harder. I think that means that we are into the third of our event here. And this is the big reveal. And so we are going to do this in alphabetical order. I'd like to congratulate Access Care Management, Allies Computing, Audit Resource Technology, Axon Vibe, Brisk, Broadstream Solutions, Chess Cybersecurity, Chorus Intelligence, Chronicle Digital Storytelling, and Coderus.
And I'd like to congratulate Conga, Corbel Solutions, Crafted, Creative Computing Club, Dangler, De facto Software, Derivco Sports, Developing Experts, eSurgery, and Echo Left.
Hi, I'm James Tarling from Ashton's Legal. It's fantastic to be here today supporting Tech East, showcasing so many amazing businesses in our region. Our tech lawyers at Ashton support and assist many established and emerging technology businesses across the country. We've really enjoyed over the last few years working closely with Tim and the team at Tech East, as they've established a fantastic support network for technology businesses in our region. During that time, we've really enjoyed working with and advising and guiding many diverse and ambitious technology companies here in our region, and seeing them and helping them grow and achieve fantastic successes. We look forward to continuing that work in the future and continuing to work closely with Tech East, with many of you who we know already. And those of you that we don't know, we'd love to meet you, and so please do get in touch. Contact details should be appearing during the session today on the screen. And we have a special offer of free consultations for Tech East members. So please do take the opportunity and come and have a word with us. Thank you.
More congratulations coming this way. Enable Technologies, Engage Health Systems, Enlight, EO Charging, ePost Now, Evoke, Fargo Systems, Fleximize, Foolproof, and Fountain Partnership.
FX Home, Halo ITSM, HTK, Hybrid Access Technologies, IG Group, EG, iLevel, Immersive Studios, Inner Wisdom, and Inform Direct. And now, a word.
Hi, I'm James Tucker, Business Advisory Partner at Scruton Bland. Scruton Bland empower our clients to make informed decisions and achieve their goals, be they business or personal. We do this by combining expertise with genuine empathy to provide a personal service to our clients, acting as stewards for their growth, stability and success. We offer a comprehensive range of financial services and professional advice to business and private clients, encompassing an insurance brokerage, accountancy, tax and audit services, financial advisory and assistance with buying and selling and restructuring businesses. The experience and expertise Scruton Bland has in applying financial technology to a business context is why we're sponsoring Tech East's Tech 100 launch event, and it's great to see so many of you as part of that community. I think we all recognise that the world has changed in the last few months. By working together through organisations like Tech East, we can share our insights and experiences to identify what we need to do differently and learn to make the most of the opportunities that present themselves. I hope you enjoy this event, and if you'd like to have a chat about any of the services we offer, please do get in touch.
In style. KCOM. Know your money. Quibu. Lift share. Liquid 11. Location Sciences AI. Loop Energy Saver. L Expert. And Map of Ag.
Marketplace AMP. Marshall Wolf. MCP. Mitra Innovation. Mudo Health. Multifreight. N2S. Neon Tribe. Nest Point. And Net Matters.
Hello, my name's Andrew Wheeler and I have the privilege of looking after the team for Brewin Dolphin in East Anglia. We have offices in Cambridge, Ipswich and Norwich, but we're a national firm and it's a great privilege to be supporting Tech East in their endeavours in promoting tech throughout East Anglia. Congratulations to all those that have been nominated and successful in reaching the Tech East 100, and I wish them all the very best for the future.
Nielsen Brand Bank. Noise Solution. Northgate Public Services. Omnis. Orbital Media. Pathfinder. PCI Pal. Picker. Pickle. And Playtech.
Policy B. Prism Voicemail, Proeon Systems, Purple Tuesday, Raid, Rainbird, Raspberry Software Systems, Ridgewall, Roveal, and SafePoint.
Hi, it's Mel here from If Recruitment. I'm one of the directors of Recruitment. We're an IT recruitment and consultancy company that have been supplying top talent to companies in the East Anglian region for over 30 years. We're very proud to be part of Tech East, and we'd like to offer our congratulations to all of the companies that made the top 100 Tech list. Thank you. Have a good day.
Session cam. Settle. Sycon. Snap account. Snoop.app. Spark EV Technology. Spicule. Step into Tech. Strategic. And Superpass.
The user story, things, Trainers 1, $210 degrees, Ubisend, Victoria Forms, Viewing Online, Wheatley Solutions, Wand, and last but not least, Exxon.
Hello, I'm James Sanderson.
And I'm Jerry Walder. We are from Sanderson's Patent and Trademark Attorneys. We're based in the Knowledge Gateway on the University of Essex campus in Colchester. We help clients to protect their inventions, their designs and their brands in order to strengthen and grow their businesses.
We're delighted to be supporting Tech East and congratulations to all of you who've been selected for the Tech East 100. Hopefully we get a chance to meet you all soon, face to face. In the meantime, if you have any questions about IP or any matter, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.
Well, wow.
Yes.
There we have it. 100 fantastic businesses, some great sponsors who've helped us along the way, and our, I think, heartfelt congratulations
Absolutely.
to all of you who are part of the Tech East 100 and everyone who's made this program happen over the last few months.
Indeed.
So we very much want this list or this recognition to be a living, breathing thing. It's not just about today, and it's not just about this celebration of success, but it's also about providing some tools and some techniques for the outside world who increasingly recognize us as a wonderful place to come and engage with from an investment point of view, from a startup point of view, in terms of scaling a business, as a talent pool. We want it to be extremely easy for everybody to engage with the region. And for that reason, we've actually created an online resource. It's on the Tech East website. You'll be able to view it with both an interactive tool that allows you to filter all these companies. Well, you can, first off, you can view them all. Secondly, you can filter them by the technologies that they specialize in, or secondly, by the marketplaces that they serve, the vertical markets that they serve. So we hope that that's going to be a useful research tool for people to find out more about what's going on. I've recorded a short video which we'll play out with after the main event. But if you go onto the Tech East website, you'll find that tool. You can also find a downloadable PDF that will allow you to view the companies at a glance.
Thank you, Tim. So yes, just to add, I mean, what a fantastic set of 100 companies. I'm just so impressed by the diversity of our community. And I think that gives us real strength in the East region, and is something that at Tech East we are massively passionate about in terms of how do we pull together as a community and leverage all of this fantastic skill and talent across our business set to create even more opportunity and drive even more value for the East region. So, as the congratulations are settling in, we move into that final third of what we are doing here today. This is the bit where we invite our panelists, and Tim will be hosting those panelists, and they are going to be talking to a question that we're posing ourselves: what is next for the East of England's tech cluster? And I'm delighted to say that we've done a lot of thinking as a Tech East board in terms of what that looks like. We are formulating a refreshed strategy that hopes to take the East region to the next level. But I'm really excited to hear from Tim and our panelists in terms of what those ideas look like. We are very, very interested in getting your feedback. So please, whilst it might be really tempting to sit back, relax and listen to our fantastic panelists, please do post any questions that you have got in the Zoom, and we will cater for those as well. So without further ado, I think we're ready to cut to Tim and the panel.
I think we're ready. Yeah, I think we're ready. Thank you very much, Lisa, for handing over now to this sort of third and kind of final major section of the event. And I'm very, very excited to have with us this morning a fantastic panel of industry experts, entrepreneurs, academics and support organizations who can, I hope, give all of us some insight into where next. This is my big question. We've got success already, but where next for this region in terms of growth and success? So joining me this morning are, in not alphabetical order, Barbara Starrock, Chief Growth Officer of EPOS Now. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
I have Professor Fiona Lettis from UEA.
Good morning.
And we have Taya Goodluck from TechNation.
Good morning.
And do we have Simon Thorpe from Cambridge Angels? I think Simon may be able to join us as we go into the panel, but we are here in a familiar environment of Zoom meeting. Very strange to be having a Zoom meeting during a live event, but I've got my headset on. Thank you very much to the team at Quatrius who provided me with that. And so sort of without further ado, I'd like to kick this off, if I may, with a question for Barbara. Simon is joining us. Hello, good morning, Simon. How are you? Excellent. Simon's just joining on audio. Welcome.
Hey, morning, everybody.
Hey, welcome. Yeah, so I'll just introduce Simon again. So Simon Thorpe, maybe known to many of you, is a very active serial investor, is the chairman of Cambridge Angels. So we have, hopefully, we've got the full panel now. Hooray, we can get cracking. So yeah, So first off, Barbara, I mean, congratulations. EPOS now is one of the Tech East 100 companies. How do you feel?
It's fantastic. Look, and the company we've been growing, we've been rapidly expanding, and this type of nomination, this type of recognition really first of all, it reflects the effort that we've all put in. It also reflects how much robustness there is in the economy and robustness there is in the East of England. So we genuinely really appreciate it. And as the person who's responsible for growth, nothing but helps validate where we've been and where we're going.
Well, that's from the horse's mouth. I mean, this program is here to help these businesses succeed and hopefully EPOS now has been one of the most successful sort of success stories of the last few years. I mean, I'd be really interested, just to kick this off, we've talked quite a lot about talent this morning, the importance of having a really vibrant talent pool to fuel growth, whether it's right at the early stage, get the initial ideas together, getting product market fit and finding investors. But from a talent point of view, Barbara, I mean, how's the kind of pandemic affected EPOS now in terms of its hiring? Are you hiring more broadly than before in terms of geographies? I mean, how's it working?
That's a great question. And I think COVID has, for all of us who've been in the industry or industries for a long time, COVID's had a massive change. And I'm speaking on this Zoom from London as part of an organization that has been traditionally based in Norwich in the East of England. But COVID has changed things dramatically for us. I joined the organization as employee 176 to actually really foster growth domestically, internationally. And we've now gone above 450 employees during the last 6 months. And it's an incredible period of growth. We couldn't have done that without the hybrid autonomy that COVID has brought us. We're now able to look across all of the UK for talent that allows us to actually both specialize in areas and attract people who perhaps wouldn't have considered a Norwich-based employee, including myself. I've always been London-based. And I can now look at a company like Norwich, a company based in a place like Norwich, and see the possibilities that we've found. It's also allowed us to really creatively look at how we have our sales teams. We have sales teams that are actually geographically based, Spain, Mexico, et cetera, working as part of our core teams, fundamentally change things, attract different talent, and actually ensure that our core home office of Norwich is able to foster and grow, but without any limitations around it. It's been an absolute game changer for us.
I mean, that's really exciting to hear that, and I mean, forgive me if, for people who perhaps don't know EPOS know that well, and your business is in that hospitality and retail sector that has been, for a number of months, extremely challenged. What I'm hearing is you've been able to ride with the changes and actually take advantage of sort of digitization opportunities. I mean, Simon, from an investor point of view, I mean, that sounds like the kind of mindset and approach that investors would look for in founders and teams in terms of growing their businesses beyond the sort of early days into that scaling phase. I mean, what are you seeing? What is Cambridge Angels seeing as a kind of angel investment group in terms of, the kind of the appetite for investors to continue to write checks for innovative businesses in these times?
So thanks, Tim. Obviously, at Cambridge Angels, we're looking for outstanding entrepreneurs who are bringing innovative, differentiated technologies. And the deeper the tech, the more IP rich, the bigger the market, the better. We are looking for outstanding entrepreneurs, and outstanding entrepreneurs in this environment of the last 6 months have spotted very quick change and have spotted opportunity, and that's the definition of an entrepreneur. We are seeing still lots and lots of opportunities, mainly because COVID has essentially accelerated the digitization of many industries. So healthcare is an obvious example, but you've seen it in education. You've obviously seen a massive acceleration of e-commerce as well. So there are plenty of opportunities out there for people to write checks out too. But you've obviously got to be focused on where you're going to invest your money, because it is actually very easy to slip into investing money in what I would call declining industries rather than growing industries. So that's what we try to do, to focus on growing industries. And I think back to Barbara's point that around talent, to some extent, the COVID has sort of flattened the geographical differentiation there used to be. You used to have to be very close to London But over the last few years, and this has been accelerated by COVID, it actually doesn't really matter where you are, provided you've got good technology and good tools to support you.
So, I guess building on that, I mean, to Fiona, I mean, UEA is in the talent business, and your graduates go on to work all over the world in very diverse environments. But also in terms of your own kind of academic sphere of specialization, which is innovation and entrepreneurialism and all of that. I mean, how is UEA now, under the current sort of circumstances, different? So how are you preparing the next generation of talent to be able to kind of adapt to a changing world? There may be future pandemics, let's hope not, but you never know. There is a lot of disruption, obviously driven in the technology sphere from all sorts of fronts, whether it's AI or whether it's through things like quantum computing, whether it's the opportunities around cyber, globalization, and so on. I mean, how is UEA looking at this question of sort of how do you prepare your young people or people learning later in life for the future?
Yeah, so as Simon said, you know, universities like other businesses had to move to remote working almost overnight, and not an easy task for quite large, complex organisations all of the time, but we managed it very effectively. So we continued to be open and be teaching our students through the lockdown, but online and through sort of forums not dissimilar to this. You asked about the innovation as well. So UEA has been trying to support its students and businesses within the region with their innovation. And we've got lots of different schemes that enable that. So one example is the ERA project, where, for example, we have innovation vouchers that support businesses to interact with the expertise that we have within UEA. So although face-to-face contact isn't quite as easy now, we can find different ways to connect businesses with the expertise that we have within UEA. And you might have picked up as well some of the really exciting projects that we did in response to COVID. So our technicians stayed in the labs and produced sanitizers and made visors to supply to the NHS and other key people. Students were involved in those projects as well. So really unleashed the creativity and talent that we had. We've got other exciting initiatives coming on stream. So Productivity East. So that will be supporting businesses and students with developing their productivity and innovation tools and techniques, and the expertise again to support both the students to learn about these new topics and exciting new technologies, cybersecurity, as you said, AI, Internet of Things, and be able to apply them in real projects. So lots of opportunities for businesses that are listening today to connect with the university. We've got lots of students who are at the most sort of entrepreneurial phase of their life, very excited, and they want to work with local businesses to gain skills and expertise and understand how the theories we're teaching them can be applied in practice or not sometimes. So if you'd like to get in touch with us and explore how we can help you, very happy to do that. So as Simon said, there's lots of new opportunities out there, and you might be thinking about some of those opportunities and don't quite have the resource to explore them. A student project, a placement, an internship could help you with a small project in a very focused way, and help you explore new markets, new opportunities, new products. So that's just some of the ways. And actually I've broken out today, so I'm working on a student enterprise panel today. And that's where we're looking at students with entrepreneurial startup ideas. And as a university, we invest in them up to £50,000 and then launch them on their way. So SafePoint is one example of a company that's been through that process. And again, we're always looking for mentors to support those students on their journey. So businesses can get involved with the university to support our students on their innovation journeys and to learn from your experience and hopefully not make the mistakes that some of you may have made and wish you hadn't. So lots of different ways. And I can put in the chat an email address to contact us if you want to access talent and expertise.
Thanks. Thank you, Fiona. And yeah, please do put that in the chat. And please use the chat to engage, as I see many of you are doing. Please also post in the Q&A. And we're going to pick up one of the questions from the Q&A, which I think brings together quite well some of the themes that Fiona was just touching on. And I suppose that theme is about support, and it's about how do you find the best possible support for your business. I mean, Stephen talked about this in his talk, and I think he's right that, you know, it is about who can help you. I mean, Taya, Tech Nation is in the business of providing really kind of across the whole of the UK as a sort of a level playing field, I think, increasingly, access to expertise, peer-to-peer expertise, programs. I mean, Fiona talked about the ERA program, which is a great incentive. But I think we all know, and the Tech East 100 is arguably another of these programs, that it can be quite hard to engage businesses that are very busy, focused, which is right. So they're focused on getting what they need in place to be successful, obsessing about the customer, really thinking about growth and all of that. I mean, some of the businesses on the Tech East 100 are already members of various Tech Nation program cohorts. So I'm thinking about things like Upscale or the new Net Zero. I mean, could you talk a little, Taya, to the question of, how, what do companies really get out of these programs in your view? How does Tech Nation think about, what offers value, and how are you adapting your offer going forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that question is music to my ears. More than happy to talk about that. And I think we do completely appreciate businesses, particularly scaling ones, which are those that we're targeting, high growth digital tech businesses. They're super busy, and often a program or some of these sort of support initiatives aren't top of the priority list. But I do think in terms of what they can offer and why it's important to engage, I mean, it does very much vary depending on the stage of business. So what we find for earlier stage companies, they really need is the PR, the profile, and I'm talking about on a national level, the opportunity to pitch to investors, again, national investors, corporates, is what they need. And that's an example of that, is Tech Nation's Rising Stars program. It's completely free to take part in, there's no equity there. It is just about brand profile and pitching to the people that you need to see your business. And obviously there's a lot of pitching competitions out there. So that's why I'd say at earlier stage, it is good to engage with those kind of opportunities. As businesses continue to scale and grow, what we hear from founders and what we understand they need is more that peer-to-peer learning, a support network of founders that are probably experiencing very similar scaling growth challenges, round a table, candid, Chatham House rule conversation, and all those sessions are facilitated by scale coaches, so essentially entrepreneurs that have been there and done it, and can kind of share their war stories. And as one of the panelists said before, hopefully that helps similar mistakes not to be made again. So I think what we offer and what a lot of programs offer is dependent on the stage company and what different businesses need. But it is about knowledge, engaging with those that are going through similar challenges and experiencing similar opportunities, and that network element along with brand and PR. Another type of program is corporate innovation challenges. Obviously that addresses a different need, which is about getting in front of new potential customers, and normally quite big ones. And I really appreciate that it's really, really hard to keep on top of what these opportunities are. So I guess that's where I see sort of my role and organisations such as Tech East and the Cambridge Knowledge Tech Corridor. It's about signposting and saying, look, there's this amazing opportunity out there. Do consider it and do apply if you're eligible. Very quickly, conscious I'm rattling on, but linking back to the East, I have personally loved seeing more companies engage across Norfolk and Suffolk. As Tim said, we've got some really good success stories locally in terms of developing experts. Was a Rising Stars winner and is obviously scaling like mad at the moment. We've had Rainbird, who are on Upscale, EPOS now, a Future 50, and we've just had Spark EV announced as joining Tech Nation's new Net Zero program. So I'm always here to chat, and it's not all about Tech Nation's programs. Clearly, there's loads of different opportunities out there, but do consider it and do engage.
Yeah, I mean, I think to kind of perhaps bring that point perhaps round to that from an investor lens and also from the company lens. I mean, so first, I mean, Simon, as an investor, when you look at companies that have sort of really proactively put themselves out there, engaged in these types of programs, chosen good ones, and I mean, do you see that as a sort of indicator of ambition and success, or potentially, just playing devil's advocate, could it be a distraction from the core business?
Well, Tim, I think as Thea just said, all these organisations actually promote entrepreneurship, and they promote innovation, and that's good because actually a lot of young people don't really think naturally about these things, and they need to be encouraged to really, as Fiona was just saying, they need to be encouraged to think in a right way, in the way that supports taking their own initiative, building things themselves, taking entrepreneurial risks. And these are things you don't learn at school. So actually having these sorts of organizations that we have has been really helpful. In terms of investment, I mean, obviously in Cambridge Angels, we tend to focus on the Cambridge cluster, but we invest in companies all over the UK. And actually, of the 3 companies that Thea just mentioned, I'm quite familiar with 2 of them, even though those are not Cambridge companies. So, I've already seen them along the way, and Cambridge Angels have almost certainly seen most of these companies. So we see a lot of companies, and part of the other really strong point of many of these organizations is actually encouraging networking. It's joining the dots. It's getting people to talk to each other. It's making people understand that there is somebody out there that is willing to help them, or could help them, or has had a similar experience that will, as Fiona said earlier, help them learn much more quickly and stop making the mistakes that we've all made.
And I mean, Barbara, EPOS Now as a business, I think, one of the reasons why EPOS Now is reasonably well known, certainly regionally, is that you've gathered a whole range of accolades and awards, and you've been on multiple lists, including Future 50, the Tech Nation sort of flagship program. I mean, in reality, as you grow larger now, I mean, how important is it to maintain that kind of network, or do you feel that the sort of job is done with your level of growth and success?
It's a really good question. I think you actually can tie 2 things together: the sort of network within community and that collaboration that exists positively in both directions, right? A company like ours who has networks, we get on lists that actually are just obviously showing the success that we've had, which is fantastic. We can then translate that back to other growing organizations. That never ends. That continues to go. It also is part of what happens in just business operation. I'm almost 25 years into my career, and that business operation collaboration never changes. You always should be looking for somebody who's done something you haven't done yet, and learn from them and help the person behind you. And that happens between business and the network community, like Tech Nation, like many other organizations that play a very similar important role, but also between businesses, between individuals. LinkedIn is a great tool for that. I think that type of collaboration is what helps a business get from step A to step B, also helps an individual leader get from step A to step B. So no, it never changes, it never ends. It also is on multiple dimensions, not just only how a business operates in between. And I think as we go through big scale-ups, I've worked at very large organizations, small organizations, the place that you're at, there's always somebody who is where you're going, and there's always somebody behind you who wants to be where you are. And I think understanding that whole and I think the people who understand that and invest that time in it the most tend to be the most able to achieve the goals that they've set.
Thank you. I think this is a really important topic, which is, I think, about how we learn from each other and how those who have got slightly further ahead can give something back. Now, there's some great questions coming through in the Q&A, and if anyone has got a burning question, please use the Q&A, or you can put it in the chat. I'm just going to have to look at my feed over here, which is where the screen is, so apologies if I'm not making eye contact. But I think there's a question about inspiring the next generation, which is we've not just got 100 amazing companies, we've got loads and loads more. I mean, there are 100 companies on this list, there's another 100 that we couldn't get onto the list. There's at least, that many, if not more, in the Cambridge cluster, and we have, Essex just right down the road. So, we've got this kind of, we've got this big capability and big kind of volume of expertise, I suppose. What do you see the role of, and this is a question for everyone, of the companies and the individuals and founders who are on this Tech East 100 list? What's their role and almost responsibility in terms of inspiring the next generation? So I'm thinking about getting into schools, mentoring and inspiring young people. Is this You know, is this a sort of, is this something that we should be absolutely encouraging these successful companies to pursue? Is it something to fit in around your other obligations? I mean, how important is it to anyone? I know, Taya, you've just done, Tech Nation's just done a big skills and talent sort of report and survey. I mean, what are you seeing from Tech Nation?
Yeah, I mean, clearly digital roles are growing like mad, and that's just going to continue. And I think looking at like schools, colleges, etc., and relaying that information back in and engaging with organisations such as Form the Future, Founders for Schools, etc., is really important. And I do really appreciate that founders and C-suite are super busy. I'm not sure if that's an excuse or not, but equally, I think there's other people in the organisation, when we talk about digital tech, it's not necessarily always those software or like super technical roles. I think it's also dispelling the myth that to work in tech, you're doing coding. I work in tech, but I'm not in that sort of role. So I think it's about educating around all the sorts of different roles people can do in tech companies, and founders and senior leaders getting other people in their organisation also engaged with inspiring the next generation. I think I won't get started on this one because I'll never stop. Obviously, there's a big conversation around diversity and inclusion at the moment, engaging, and diversity obviously means a lot of different things. It's different backgrounds, races, gender, etc. So I think, you know, spreading the word that there's so many exciting, amazing options in tech, and it's not necessarily just on the super hardcore side of coding, but companies have to get out there and get their employees out there to talk about it firsthand and share sort of their real life stories, I think, because that's really inspirational.
I mean, Barbara, how do you look at this question?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think, Taya, you touched on something really good there, which I've spoken about several times. And as a sort of senior leader in technology over years, I've often been asked about women in technology. And I think, Taya, you hit the nail on the head. Technology is also a business. And there is so much business that happens in a business that isn't the technology. And I've long been sort of responsible for product and development. And if I just take our organization, we've got a very, very large development organization, large product management organization. And then we've got no fewer than 250 or almost 300 other people who are doing other roles that touch a technology business. And I think there's also a COVID opportunity here. And our business has really done quite a good job of spotting opportunities in COVID. And I think the strongest entrepreneurs in the world are always people who can spot opportunity when it looks like there may be none. And Tim, you alluded to the fact that we sell our point of sale system to retail and hospitality. And as soon as this all happened, obviously many of our businesses shut, but for every business that shut, there was a pharmacy that needed a better system. There was a corner shop that needed a better system. Let's be honest, there was a lot of off licenses that needed better systems very quickly. And spotting those opportunities is really important. And taking that to COVID, another opportunity that exists for people who are busy is this type of interaction. I genuinely believe that, you know, when you go into a school, and it's so much fun to see the people who are coming up and realize that that's coming right behind you. But sometimes it does take time, and it does take, you know, literally a whole day out. When you can spend an hour and have an impact that's just fit into your day, you can actually do 2 or 3 of those in half the time that it would take you before. And I think as schools have gone online, further education has gone online, everyone has gone online, that type of opportunity, we really need to actually expect more of businesses, people like myself, businesses like ourselves, and schools to optimize that link between the online communities, because you need to do more of it. Time is usually of the essence, but actually all these things have coalesced where everybody now has the same technology and the same expectations. We should use it.
Thank you. We've got kind of time for one wrap-up question before we have to finish the panel. And I guess trying to pull some of these threads together. I mean, I read something that Simon wrote maybe a couple of weeks ago. I think, Simon, you used the term necessity is the mother of invention. And right now, the necessity for a lot of businesses, you know, after initial kind of cash flow and HR and people considerations and sort of survival techniques has been around where is opportunity. You know, if a pivot might be required, how do I go about executing that elegantly and rapidly? So I guess the question would be, for all those entrepreneurs out there who would aspire to be on a program or a list like Tech East 100, want that sense of achievement, you know, from all of the panel, what would your kind of top piece of advice be in terms of developing yourself and developing your business in order to succeed and be part of the next generation of talent? So, I mean, Simon, perhaps you picked that up because you wrote the line. I think it was a quote, but you know, you quoted the line.
Well, thanks. Well, I grew up with a mum and dad who were both entrepreneurs, and my mum was always telling me that because she grew her own business. But I think actually a couple of things. Founders for Schools is worth mentioning in the context of the discussion just now, and also there's a company called No Code, which is essentially building on what Thea was saying, which is basically teaching digital skills without actually having to code. I personally think it's really important. If you can learn to code, it's really helpful. But schools do not teach finance and technology. They don't really touch on those subjects at all. And that is a big issue for us as an economy. It's a big issue for us as entrepreneurs. So we've all got an obligation to try and inspire young people, particularly girls, to think about technology. In terms of your question, I think probably the one thing I would say is learn to think about acquiring digital skills, whatever they are. If you acquire digital skills, you will be employable in today's economy, and you will find employers that are interested in your skill set.
Thank you, Simon. Very briefly, we've got about a minute and a half to go. Taya, what's your one piece of advice? And if it's go to the Tech Nation website, that's okay. If it's something
programs, open application. No, I think, you know, it is about, for me, I think it is about community. It's about learning from others. It's about those people that have been there, exactly as Barbara said, taking the time to give back. But obviously we are in an online world at the moment. So just making sure you are still engaging and not just getting too head down in your business, just to sometimes look out and also learn from others.
Barbara.
Yeah, I think it's spot opportunity and, you know, be willing to think against the grain and find that opportunity. Be ready to work hard and ask questions of the people who are in front of you.
Thank you. And Fiona.
Yeah, so I really love living and working in this region. We've got a fantastic ecosystem, really supportive networks. So look out for Sync Norwich, Norfolk Developers, Hot Source, the Norwich Cambridge Tech Corridor, etc., etc. Whatever your field is, there is probably a network out there that can support you and connect you with the right people. And they put on fantastic seminars and presentations and events, now online, of course, but do get engaged and yeah, take advantage of this fantastic region.
Thank you. Well, thank you all. Thank you to Taya Goodluck from Tech Nation, Fiona Lettis from UEA, Barbara Starrett from EPOS Now, Simon Thorpe from Cambridge Angels. You've been a fantastic panel. There's been some fantastic engagement with this. I hope you all have a good day and look forward to seeing you face to face pretty soon.
Same here.
All
Next
right.
time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
So thank you very much to all of our fantastic panellists, and well done to Tim for chairing such a great conversation. I was looking at all the questions that were coming through as part of that engagement, and what really struck me was there were some really core themes there that were coming through on skills, on incubation, on growing our opportunities, all things that we discuss around the Tech East board table regularly. We will be taking that download of all of those questions, because what that provides for us as a Tech East board is feedback in terms of what's important to you and, you know, what we can do as a Tech East organisation to really hone and leverage all of this fantasticness to make great opportunities for all involved. I think we are really at those closing stages now of wrapping up what I hope has been the best virtual event that we could, you know, obviously we would have loved to have had this room packed out with all of you, with, you know, a proper human celebration, and maybe one day in the not too distant future we will be able to do that. What I would like to also do at this point is just say a big thank you. I've thanked the wonderful panellists, but also thank you not only to the 100 amazing companies that have been recognised here as part of this event, but to all the stakeholders across the region who really make this community and this ecosystem as thriving and as rich as it does. I'd also like to thank our keynote speakers, obviously Stephen Fry, Caroline Dinage, and Tim Whitley, and also all the sponsors and supporters that have been called out during this event. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope that we all get to really enjoy and derive value from the celebration of everything that is good across the East. That's a goodbye from me.
Well, thank you, Lisa. And I think everything that you've just said absolutely chimes with me. I really liked it when Fiona talked about, leverage what's on your doorstep in terms of those local networks, but also take advantage of everything that's available nationally. And it seems like we are plugged in to the main,
And intend to do more as well. So that's.
So thank you very much, and thanks very much from me. Goodbye. So here's a short guided tour of the Tech East 100 online tool. We've put this together to enable you to discover companies within the Tech East 100 and filter them by the technologies that they specialize in and the markets they serve. So if you go to the website, you'll find some explanatory text and also an option to download a PDF of the full set of companies. We then have two filters. The technology filter on the left-hand side. So whether you're looking for AI companies, EV, IoT, or just for software apps and systems, this will enable you to navigate a narrower list, a filtered list of companies within the Tech East 100, and those will come up, as you can see, in bold text. And then if I look to the right, I can also navigate and filter down by market sector. So let's take financial services, for example. Again, you see that there is a narrower and more specific list of companies. Okay, so we've seen how those filters work. Let's dive now into one of the companies on the list as an example. Here's Chorus Intelligence. So Chorus are providing data cleansing and analysis software for law enforcement and government agencies across the globe. It's clear which markets they're serving, in this case public sector, and also the business, the line of business or technology that they're in, data, software, apps and systems. You'll find a short description of each company, lists of awards that they've been given, contact details, including the website and social media accounts, and also links through if they have a Crunchbase profile or a TechNation Data Commons profile, so you can dive deeper into the underlying financial and company data about that business. And then finally, we have a visual representation on a map of Chorus's location. So let's take another company, a contrasting example, Spark EV Technology Limited. Spark EV recently got onto TechNation's Net Zero program for clean tech and low carbon technologies. So Spark EV, again, the markets that they're in, mobility and transport, they're a clean tech business and they're electric vehicles. You get a short description of Spark, contact details, and their location, this time in Newmarket. So coming back to the homepage of the Tech East 100, I just wanted to also show you how the link to the downloadable PDF works. We've put this together to make it easy for you to look at a glance at all the companies on the list. Each one has its own entry, and we have provided a little description about the company, some contact details, and clearly you've got the logos there. And that's a really useful resource to kind of keep on your desk if you want to review who's in the Tech East 100 and get in touch with them for more details. I'll just scroll through to the end of that brochure to show you the diversity of companies on the Tech East 100. So I hope you'll all agree that's a pretty impressive list. The Tech East 100 is here as a resource and a research tool for anyone in the region, and just as importantly outside the region, to discover more about the 100 exciting startups, scale-ups and late-stage businesses that feature in the Tech East 100. And we hope you'll all find this a really powerful tool to discover more about the companies in the region, and if necessary, get in touch with the founders and the team there. Thanks very much.